What is going on, guys? Welcome to Double Tap. This is Mash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to the FGC. I am your host, the ghost himself that has come back from the grave. Crash in the building, of course, and I've got Static G, who's been holding it down while I've been out on my, not my sabbatical, but I've been out due to some real life stuff that I gotta go ahead and deal with. But I'm back. We're back. Well, actually, I can't even say I'm back. We're both back. We're fresh off the planes. We were doing a little bit of traveling. We're going to be getting into that tonight. Of course, we hit up CEO 2023. Super excited, exhausted. We both took naps. Had to get my
not long enough. But yeah.
I had to get my turkey from the trash can, if you know what I'm talking about. But welcome, guys. Welcome, of course. This is Double Tap. This is a podcast dedicated to everything and anything in the fighting game community. I don't know what else to say, man. I feel like I've been out the game too long. It's only been 2 weeks, but I feel like I've been out way longer. So I'm kind of getting my thoughts together. I'm super stoked. And there's so much to talk about, man. A hell of a weekend, both whether or not you were watching, you were attending, or you were playing. There was a lot of things that went down for all kinds of people, but I do want to say thank you to, of course, all our supporters, everyone, whether you're here on Twitch, of course, live with us every Monday. We record this before the episode's out on Tuesday. We appreciate y'all, all love. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow us at Double Tap FGC, of course, on all social media platforms, or of course on YouTube. You guys can catch our awesome content out there. If you also want to check out some of our awesome visuals we do here on twitch.tv/mash those buttons. But let's get into it, though. We've got a lot to talk about, man.
Forgive my voice if my energy is like,
it's no joke. We're gonna be going in. It's been a hell of a weekend. I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying fresh off the plane. Like, we got here like this morning. We started that day at 3 a.m. to travel. Got home by 10, and been away for about a week. My dogs, my assistant director, who's behind me sitting in his corner, was happy to see me. But yeah, man, we had a hell of a weekend. A lot to experience. A lot of Street Fighter, a lot of Guilty, some NK that we couldn't be involved in, right? Like, it was a lot.
It would have been worse if we weren't in the same time zone. Thankfully, in Florida. So.
Yeah, luckily, we lucked out there. So let's just jump into it, man. CEO 2023.
Yeah, I didn't win.
You made it on pools, though. You made it on pools, Mr. Top 48 or top 56 or something like that. Like,
figure that out.
You will figure out the numbers, but you were above top 96 in Guilty Gear. So congrats to you for making it out of pools.
But like the guy with the medal on the podium.
Yeah, exactly. Just go for it. Get the champagne out. That would have been me. But so let's get into it. So like I said, CEO 2023. My first CEO. We'll talk about my experience with it, but kind of the major thing about it, right? It's the first Street Fighter 6 major of the year, right? The game's been out now for I can't even say a month, right? It came out June 2nd, so it's not even a full month yet. So it's been like 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks. The game's been out, over 1,000 attendees to play, hella setups, and not exactly what I expected to go down when it came to like the top level play, like the character select. I mean, some definitely did. So if you were catching up on any of the many streams that went down over at CEO, right, there's been tweets about it as to the top 24 picks and all, and people are breaking some things down. No surprise, I think the highest picked character for Street Fighter was Jury, right? I think it was 6 juries in top 24. Right. I'm just here trying to verify my numbers. I believe 6 in top 24. The rest of the numbers goes as follows. Let me make sure I got this right. So Jury, 6 juries, top 24. We had 3 Lukes. We had 3 Camis, 3 Guiles as well. I have to fix my camera a little bit. Then we had 2 Kens. Oh, excuse me, not 2 Kens. 2 Kimberlys, 2 Manons, 1 Honda, 1 Ken, 1 Jamie, 1 Chunners, and 1 DJ. So a little bit of variety there for you guys to kind of have. But Jury, often called out as being the best character in the game. I don't follow that sentiment too much, to be honest, myself. I think she's really good, but I don't think she is top. for certain reasons. But she didn't end up winning. Spoiler: she didn't end up winning. She was just the most played character there. But good pokes.
Didn't end up. You say.
What's up?
You said did not end up winning. Right?
Did not end up winning. Yeah, she did not end up winning. She did not end up winning. I actually have to reset something real quick. But yeah, she did not end up winning. But she was played around. She was the most mirror matches we got in top 8. I personally hate fucking mirror matches myself. But man, it was still a spectacle to play. So I think like the 6 juries, it was like we had 2 from Florida, right? We had Zeki and Goat Gloat, who both made it to top 8. Punk, I'll use jury. Nephew used jury, but I don't think they're counting. Are they counting Punk as? Because there was like also character secondary picks that went down. So like technically we don't see a Blanca here. Spoilers: Blanca ended up winning the tournament. Yeah, like Blanca / Luke, but really if you want to talk about matches in top 8, it was Blanca that actually ended up taking the dub. But there was a couple of small secondaries here. Like technically Idom picked jury, right, for a couple matches. We saw technically another Chun being played by Nephew for 1 match until erasing that real quick. But yeah, it kind of kept it consistent past that on some of these characters that have been told to be like the best of the best, right? But that still didn't mean that was like what came out on top. Like the character could only take it so far, right? The players that play them, the pilot these characters are the real they're the real problems that you have to deal with for sure. But we got to see a decent variety, which was good. Like I didn't really have to besides like the jury, like I said, the jury mirror, so we had to see. Besides that, it was still an incredible experience to actually be there and do that in person and actually watch it go down. Which, by the way, just gotta give credit where credit's due. Like, bro, what a presentation like CEO does when it comes to the finals in that arena. That shit was fire. That was like incredible. The energy was amazing. I love that the crowd now, we got like a Manon or Mano. Like, I'm gonna say Manon. I'm sorry. Call me ignorant. I'm gonna a Manon chat now for her grabs. Right. 1, 2, 3. Every time she gets a medal, like the crowd was getting into it. That was fire. People wanting 4, the intro.
When they were at 4, they're like, 1 more medal, clap.
Oh yeah. Like, 1 more medal, because once you get the 5, bro, it was gross. Shout out to Sticky Fingers, who made it the furthest with Manon. Really took out Idom, even though Idom threw away 2 matches. Sorry, dog. Man, it is what it is.
Just not playing to his best. He did better in Marvel.
Yeah, he was doing good. He was. But. Yeah, dude, like it was an experience to see how Street Fighter 6 was. It was the finals game, right? It was the final game of the night. So I was very curious as to how that energy was going to be starting up. And some things grew out of it. Like I said, the Manon chat was one. The intros, right? Like when you're loading in and the characters are supposed to do that walk. Like, started from the bottom over here. All that stuff. Yeah. Like the crowd was going with it and it was bringing the energy up. And the booing that happened whenever people skipped it, it was awesome. I loved it. That was one of those just natural moments that now we're gonna see moving forward. I think it's just gonna become tradition, kind of like you're A, or you're like your Rufus, boom, right? Like in Street Fighter 4, like it's just gonna become one of those things for Street Fighter 6's life, as long as we see Manon and such, right? That's at least the start.
It's funny, you don't really notice if the game is gonna do well in those certain parts. Like, does it translate well to an audience? And the whole audience just gets in with it, with just, I guess, the memes of the game.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if Luke gets a perfect and they let the outro rock, will the crowd dance? Like,
will they hit him with the awkward ass stance that he does?
And it's unique things like that which made Dragon Ball, have that loud moment with
Cell, busting out.
Those interactions that make people hype. Like you said, character intros should come back or something.
Yeah, I think they should definitely emphasize that. If you're in top 8, you let that hallway scene rock. Yep. Like, let it rock. Bring that energy up. It's a benefit to everybody. Everybody's more invested.
I want to hear what happens if we get a CA with Menon.
I know we never got one. Everybody was waiting for. Even Yipes called it out. Was like, you guys are waiting for that la la la, like right, like because I guarantee you everyone's gonna chant that shit if she gets a CA.
Or if Ken gets a CA, everybody's gonna sit down and shut up.
Maybe yeah. we might.
That's
so
some fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was an awesome experience to see that in finals day, how the crowd got into it, how the energy grew, and how it just this was just the beginning, right? This was just the first event for it, and to do it at CEO was an incredible experience. With, like I said, how they had the arena. I love that I was in the center. Take notes, Evo. I know you guys have are kind of working around it, but like center stage was great. Because everyone just got to focus in one area. You don't have to worry about turning your neck. Though those that wanted to maybe turn their neck, they turned it to the monitor if they wanted to. But you still had center stage, which was awesome to watch because the pop-offs were great. The entrances were like solid. There were a couple, so-and-so ones. I might be also thinking of Strive a little bit, but it was still dope to have the layout the way they have it set. Also, just one note, maybe just a note. I know Jabali also has a CEO feedback form, which I think everyone that has attended CEO should probably do. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of the biggest things he gets is not put the flashing lights in front of so many people's eyes that they can't avoid, because the amount of times that happened and people were like, and then they did the flashing lights and everyone's like, oh, like as a crowd, like I just got flash banged like I'm from fucking CSGO. I mean, I didn't notice it, obviously. I was like, what are you guys complaining about?
You didn't see me immediately put my hand up?
The amount of people, I saw it. I was like, why? I'm like, I was like, why is that happening? I was like, you guys are crazy. Yeah, you guys are babies. It's because I have my glasses on, so I didn't really notice it. But like so many people were just like, they'd get flashes like, oh, my eyes, I can't see anything. I would probably change that up a little bit, or maybe not use those. Maybe use your overhead lights for something like that instead.
Solar flare.
Yeah, basically, that's what it was. But no, man. Regardless, though, like I think Street Fighter 6 did an incredible job in finals. The energy was palpable. Even the road to it was really good. The staging, the top 24, the pool play that everyone was just constantly going to. There was so many, but dude, like when I was in pool play, or I mean, I'm not myself. I wasn't playing. I was spectating. I was spectating mode specifically. It's like one of the rare instances I'll go to an event this far away and not throw down. But man, like in terms of pool play, there was so many Manons that I saw. Like every setup I would look, I would see her, like someone was playing her. I got to see a decent amount of Hondas. I mean, one made it to top 24, I believe. It's something Pandas, like Push Panda or something like that. Made it to top 24 with Honda. But a lot of Manons. I'm trying to think as to like what characters we really didn't see. Like Ryu's were kind of rare, right? I think Ryu's were kind of rare. There were a couple.
190 something.
Okay.
JP's.
JP's.
We saw JP mirrors everywhere.
Yes.
DJs were around. Hawaiian Shirtman and somebody else did a dance on screen.
Did the dance on. We saw that live. That was fun to see that. Bring that energy once again. But yeah, what? Actually, I do want to talk about the JP thing. And we're gonna do that, of course, right after this break, guys. Stay tuned. We got some more coverage coming up here, of course, on CEO and some Street Fighter 6. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So, CEO 2023, like I said, Street Fighter 6. The pool experience, like I said, definitely much more variety of characters, but one, that kind of made its rounds. Even cats like Brian F posted up about it, like, oh, you guys are saying JP is so busted, but you're like, look, he didn't even make top 24. I'm like, bro, there were a lot of JPs that were like on the cusp of top 24. They just did not make it. Like, we had multiple JP mirrors before we got to that top 24. They were weeding themselves out before then. There was at least, I want to say 3 to 4 matches. I want to say at least 3 matches that we saw JPs being played on like, you got to see on stage, on the projection screen and such. And like, that character is, just give it a little bit of time. It's still a weirdo character, because I don't think, let's put it out there. If Brian F was in a tournament, I'm pretty sure Brian F probably would have cracked top 24. He would have been one of the entries to bring JP in there, right? But there was a lot of them. Like I said, a lot of Manons that made it out, or made it to through pools or around pools. Other characters, like I didn't see any Lilies like that. I think I saw maybe one person try to pick Lily. It didn't work out too well. Camis were solid. Obviously, we got 3 in top 24.
Kimberly's were there, Shine and
shout outs to Shine. He was one of the 2 Kimberlys that made it. I think it was Shine and I think it wasn't a mirror match. I'm just trying. I can't remember.
Zach Rob, is it?
Maybe Zach Rob sounds like he played something else. Was he the Jamie? I'm not 100% sure. But Kim was another one that got to luckily see in top 24. But I mean, other characters. Let me see, like Lily. Like no Geeps made it. Like honestly, I didn't see any Geeps like that. I saw maybe 1 or 2 actually. But it was kind of a rarity.
I don't remember who it was against. Maybe I think it was against Mena, and there was a modern Geef that he was playing. Yes. Actually, shout outs to Valentine in our Twitch chat. Actually, yeah, there actually was a modern control Geef. Yeah. That made it to stage, did very well until Mena stopped that shit, I believe. But it was dangerous. It was very, very dangerous. We got to see some of the hints, the little touches of power that is modern controls at a high level. But unfortunately fell short. But it might also just it's just the way it works right now. Doesn't mean it's always going to be like that, but there definitely was some. Where Jaewon played modern Geef, but I don't know if Jaewon played modern Geef in bracket. I know he plays it on his stream and such, because he's a very, very powerful character in the modern sense anyway. But like besides that, like pool play was awesome. It was just so much energy, so many people just playing. It was overall a great time when it came to Street Fighter 6. It was a great start off to the game. Character variety is going to happen. There were other characters that we didn't see a whole lot of. Like, yes, we got a couple Blancas. I can only think of 2. It was just Mena and Coach. I'm pretty sure those more than that. But in terms of high, the one I lost to, yeah.
Wait, you lost a Blanca?
I lost to Blanca. You weren't there.
Oh yeah, I was not there. Because if I was there, I would have been
still
mad.
lost.
Oh, he did once in bracket. Okay.
Crux6, Kruxis.
Is that the Geef?
That was the Blanca that beat me.
Oh, that was the Blanca.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, do you want to tell the people how you got knocked out of pools?
In Street Fighter? Sure.
You don't have to.
I fought a Marissa, and then I...
Marissa, that's another character. Not a lot made it out of top 24, funny enough.
It was 1-1. I was up a match. I was up a round, and I went to head stomp. He did super. He missed, and I went to punish. Thing is, I didn't know she goes half screen away, and I dashed up and swept, and he blocked, and he punished. I was tilted. I lost the next round. And there goes my Street Fighter.
Static was tilted. I was tilted. I almost ended up being a second video on Twitter about starting a fight. It was kind of crazy. Yeah, it was pretty wild. But Marissa, that's another character. Funny enough, I thought I was gonna see more, maybe make it into top 24, but it's not the character might not be developed enough there yet.
Right. I think KDZ plays pretty well. Let me see.
I saw KDZ play on stream. Yeah, he was a Marissa player. I think he was on stream. He was on stage a couple times. I forget who he got knocked out
Eric
to.
C and Idom.
Idom, yes, there we go. Yep, it was Idom. It was that was off stream, I believe. Actually, no, was that off stream? It might have been.
I don't know.
It was a whole lot, man. It was the weekend was a whole lot of watching, a lot of matches to watch, not just in Street Fighter 6, of course, in other games too, but. I mean, overall, like for Street Fighter 6, it was quite the experience. Like I said, for it being the first major, it was awesome. Like a lot of tech to still be developed, a lot of characters to still show play. But we got to see Mena RD two-timer for real, Capcom Cup champion, come through and win the first Street Fighter 6 event with Blanca. Okay, with an asterisk. I know he used Luke. He definitely used Luke throughout the tournament as well, throughout bracket play. But he also was using Blanca throughout bracket play, so it's not like a one-off that he only did it in top 8. Right. But he did. He actually went ahead and threw his top 8. He had one. I think, did he have one Luke? Did he use Luke once? Yeah, he used Luke once.
He used Luke against Punk.
Against Punk, yes. He used Luke against Punk.
An item. He only used Blanca in the grand finals.
Yes, correct. Yeah, because I keep forgetting it was nephew in grand finals against Mena. But yeah. So, but the majority of his top 8 run was with Blanca, and Blanca is a scary ass fucking character. Blanca was not in the bingo card for a lot of people in terms of doing anything. To be honest, like wasn't even in the goddamn discussion. But you know, it's so early in the game. That's why I like things like these tier lists and shit. Like early on, like I really like. Yes, there are definitely some characters that you can tell are strong, but you gotta give it some time. Like you just like, you know, if you're coming into this game, if you're coming into Street Fighter, by the way, this is just some advice for you. If you're coming into Street Fighter and you're like learning the game, you're coming into fighting games. Like, and you're really doing your due diligence, you're trying to study up and be like, oh, what characters are great. Like, tier lists are okay to look at, but they're not gospel. Like it is not gospel. It's not what's written in stone. It's not what it'll always be, because, you know, you can look at the character usage in that tier maker we showed earlier, or what everyone always deems to be the S tiers to the fucking D tiers. Blanca was not even in the discussion outside of cats like Marn, because shout outs to Marn, because Marn actually did post the tier list a long time when the game did drop and put Blanca as like second best right after Jury. So yeah. Marn was technically right, but like it's for me it's so annoying when I see these tier lists. I'm like, bro, it's so early. Like there's no data to support not enough data in a high competitive sense. Like online, like what is whatever. Online's a different fucking beast, but like, you know, you gotta let the game rock a bit. It's only been 3 weeks exactly, so it's like it's kind of annoying a bit, but I like it at the same time, because when we get these kinds of upsets, we're like, yo, Blanca fucking won the tournament. Blanca won a tournament. Like, it's kind of wild to think about that.
I'm looking at his win-loss record. On his way up, he only lost 1 match to Corey Bell. I believe that was another Luke.
Corey Bell is a Luke, yeah,
and then Punk, and then everything else was 3-0 or 2-0. Like Idam, as we saw, was 3-0, and then he lost a match to Punk and lost 1 match to Nephew. That was it. I don't know, Jay Caesar, it doesn't look like they had an actual score noted there, but that was winner's final of the pool. But yeah, quite dominant.
Yeah, dude came out swinging. He was chill. My man was relaxed the entire way, kept his wit about him. Yo, shout outs to Mena, though. Like, you know, just repping the Caribbean, repping DR, which is awesome. I love to see it. But yo, those top 8 was no slouch. Like, all the matches were hype. Kaba versus Punk, I think, was probably like the wildest one for me.
Yeah, and something that I did notice, like the meta of the whole like corner game and the drive gauge game. Like even Yipe said it. Like he saw that somebody was hitting him in the corner and said it out loud. He said, "All right, this is the future of the game, y'all." And it's like, yeah, the future of the game is a fierce button, like spam your fierce buttons to push down that drive gauge, and then a cancelable button into drive impact that'll stun your opponent. Like try to make some sort of like, yeah, you're like, not even that, it's like burnout stun. Like
yeah, you're fighting almost like 2 life gauges, right? Like that's what I was noticing too. Like your level 3s, you save that to cash out, right? You got your cash out combo to just everything. You're using it all. You're DRing everything. You're DR canceling everything to as many buttons as you can to level 3, so you can just get the max amount of damage. And like you said, like stun combos and such, absolutely. Like more like planned stun combos. It isn't like oh, you happen to be in burnout. Like, you know, sometimes you can't, 100%, get it calculated. But, when you're in burnout and you're in the corner, the likelihood that they're going to try to, drive impact you, it's pretty fucking high. It's pretty high because it's such a great return for it at little to no risk, really, outside of like, do you have super? Oh, you do have super? It's like, okay, whether or not you can react to this is another situation. But yeah, we were seeing a lot of calculated stuns where, like you said, they are doing a string, and like the second to last hit will cause the burnout to then link into DI, because remember, in DI, you can go into DI from anything that is a special cancelable normal. All right, so you treat it the same way like you do with special moves, with fireballs, with cannon spikes, with fuhas, whatever. It all goes of the same principles. We were seeing a lot of that where you were, you're doing the space game, the neutral game, but then if you're pushing, you're taking that spacing, you're looking at their drive gauge just as much as you're looking at their health bar. And as soon as you see it when it's at a certain range, and you have a series where you know, like, oh, this hit string into this always takes, I don't know, a bar and a half, and they're just at a bar, is like, you go for it, because by the time you get to the end of that, you can link DI and get a guaranteed almost checkmate. Like outside of super, or potentially grab, but most of the time these strings are trying to do it in a string that once you're in burnout, right, you got those +4 frames, you're trying to keep it as tight as possible to guarantee you that's done. And you are right, we were definitely seeing that. We were definitely seeing that live. It was happening in more than one match, so it's definitely the direction, the meta, or the scene is kind of seeing as to like how they're going to play to the strengths of the game itself and the mechanics that we have. But that's for now, until we find maybe an OS select, right, like an option select, to going against it, or just general defense tips for it as we grow and learn about it. That's kind of like the direction we're going, and it's very potent, and it works out very, very well. But yeah, that top 8, if you really just want to like the homie Yep said, we don't want to really see the future as to the direction of things, like I would study that shit, because it's worked out for those players for a certain reason, and it ain't luck.
Nope. Well, other than that, do we talk about the rest of CEO? How it went? How do you?
Of course. Yeah. So fun. Yeah, right. That was fun. All right. Thanks for coming to the show, guys. See y'all next week. It was fun. Yeah. So it was my first CEO. I think it's like your third, right?
Yes.
Like third or fourth or something like that. You've been to Orlando and you've been to Daytona, correct?
No, only Daytona. 2018 was Daytona, and
I think you did Orlando.
Year and this year as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't done Orlando at all. Obviously, it's my first. So Daytona was cool. I like the area in terms for the food and all that. The venue was awesome. I'm not going to speak much on the town really, but the venue was fucking awesome. The venue was great. Like, it's huge. I loved the layout for it. I loved the tabletop area they had for it. The Jabali Land was awesome. Very reminiscent of like MagFest, how it kind of like tries to, I mean, MagFest's arcade is different, like it's a whole other beast, but it was cool that it was always available to you, right? Which was awesome. Like I said, you have the tabletop, you had other communities. The artist alleyway was awesome. Shout outs to what's your brother's shop name again? It's like
Marcos MP Art.
Thank you. Yeah, we was hanging out there. He was selling. It was a great time. Got to meet other vendors and awesome just community members, creators, fucking amazingly creative people. It was great.
Plenty of space for casuals.
Oh, yes.
For all types of vendors. Even Box, Jay Wong, all of that.
Yes. Yeah. Jay Wong had his own little, area, which is really cool. You got to play him, got to hang out with the content creator extraordinaire himself. And like you said, honestly, that was the crazy part. I kind of think back on it. Never did I feel like it was like, unless I was in a super dense area, but there was a reason to be dense, is because maybe there's just like dope matches going on and everybody wants to watch. But like, I didn't feel cramped. It was spacious. I wasn't cooking. It wasn't like fucking sweating out there, right? Like, I was cold most of the damn time, man. You know what? That's the one thing I'll say to all you vendors out there. Please, like, have some hoodie selections. I would love some more hoodies. There was some dope hoodies, but there was some, I'm picky with some of the stuff I put on. But yeah, man, I was cold like half the damn time. I was like damn near losing my mind. But everything was accessible. Food everywhere. Like, oh my god, food trucks, fast sandwiches. Son, that's actually kind of a bit of a bar for me. You got fast sandwiches at your events. Like, you need to have them everywhere. For those that don't know what a fast sandwich is, go look that up. Especially go look up the ones that are up in like Rutgers, New Jersey. But yeah, fast sandwiches is like the perfect tournament food.
It really was. I mean, we slept like a baby. Like, I was gone.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Right after that.
For sure.
Me and my Cuban sandwiches.
Yeah,
the mixer was good. We got to learn and network with a lot of people, get some new games in.
Yeah,
we get to get games in with people that were good, and then even find out, hey, they did really well in bracket, or we even see them doing casuals later.
Yeah, for sure. You were hogging setups because you were running it because of Dalsim and some other shit. The mixer was awesome because it was a lot of people's first time too. There was a lot of first timers there, including myself. And shout out to Jabali coming through and making it happen. I think it was a great experience. I think it's almost like a really cool like. I don't want to make it like it's like, oh, it's a first timers mixer. It should be like anybody's allowed, but if you're a first time goer, you should go because you get to meet people. We got to meet a bunch of awesome players, got to play some awesome games with people we didn't even realize that, halfway through I was like, oh, all these guys have to have been in CO before, right? And then when he asked like who here's your first time, I was like, oh, I'll be one of the few people. Fucking damn near everybody in the room like raised their hands. I was like, oh, this is sick. Like you got to show some love and hang out with and also Street Fighter, So it was an experience for sure. So the mixture was awesome. I think that should also be kind of like a regular thing for other events if you can do it. Obviously, it's you need the space and hey, the bar was awesome. Shout outs to my bartender who was hooking me up. All the hors d'oeuvres that they were just like shove it for $30. I was like, I mean everything I could get. No. Do you want some more? Yes. I'm just freaking my double fisting them.
My brother being the way the whole time he was hungry. So he found out that the servers were speaking Spanish.
Oh,
so
we got the hookup
first.
We got the hookup, bro. We got the hookup.
So, yeah.
We was speaking that language. Was like, yeah, aquí, venga para atrás cuando tú puedes. Dame más. It's like we were just like, hook us up. Yeah. We're here. You know what it is. Just look at us.
So good. But no, shout outs to that was a great idea. I think
absolutely.
I think there needs to be more like it, and I thought it was going to be like super huge. A lot of people. Apparently, a lot of people didn't show, or there were supposed to be like 300 people, and then he tweeted it out, and some more people showed up. But I don't. Yeah. It never felt overcrowded.
No,
that's the thing. Like
it
nothing
never did.
Ever felt overcrowded unless it was like the finals day.
But it wasn't because of lack of people. It was just that's the space you get. The venue was awesome, so it was never too tight. It was never tight. But the experience overall, though, it was great. I like the control center they had in the pool area. That was really cool. How they had a little control center where you could be the voice of God there and just talk to everybody and update things, and you just see people. Shout out to the people I did see out there, like like Squadgy. Like shout out to you, homie, to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time. Didn't know you'd even be out there.
Tong, who was running almost
shout outs to fucking Tong, like coming through, of course, and the rest of the crew. But Tom, shout outs to you, homie. It was awesome to meet you in person. That was great. It was a good time. And just everyone else I got to catch up with. It was great. It's been a while since I've been in a major for like this, because hey, sometimes you can make it, sometimes you can. And then it was a great reminder. It was a great reminder of the community and that I got mad love for, and the people around that you've developed these like relationships with over the years, and to see them again was really, really awesome. So I was very thankful for having that experience again.
I do feel like everything was really thought through, and to the point where even Jabali is able to not just be approachable, but more responsive, especially on like social media, even through email. There were a couple incidences that happened, like you mentioned. There was a pseudo almost fight, or even some situations in the arcade room where someone had a health emergency, where it was all taken care of by everybody there. So like everything that you see, whether it's the event staff or even the staff of the center itself, like there was always a presence of someone that was able to do something. First aid always there. Somebody was like, hey, this light is really shining bright.
Oh yeah, I remember that curtain thing. Yeah, I saw that tweet. He's like, yo, on it, and my man like just got that fixed. I was like, yo, that is sick. Like, it was on point. Honestly, if I were to give a review about CEO 2023, it would literally be those two words. It'd be on point. That's it. Like, I really can't really say anything else. It was awesome. And I know they want to always implement new ideas. Like I said, things like the mixers and stuff like are great.
I would say more exhibitions, maybe. If it's wrestling themed, there may be more wrestling stuff going on. I know that there were like 2 pay-per-views, like WWE's way out in Europe this whole week, and AEW's having their Forbidden Door that they had last night. So that's why Kenny wasn't there, because he was busy breaking his neck. No pun intended, because literally almost did. But he had what, like the Street Fighter 6 Rumble match, right? Exhibition. Yeah, Street Fighter 6 Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Royal Rumble, excuse me.
Yeah, what is it? Punk took it all. Even though he says he beat 29 other men, he was only number 29. in
Yeah.
the tournament. So
Yeah, it was
he
like-
really only played 2 people. He took out
Yeah.
Samij and a rapper, I think it was. A breakdancer guy.
I couldn't remember. I cannot remember my man's name at the end. I honestly cannot remember what my man's name was at the end. But he had a great b-boy entrance though. I'll shout him out
Yeah.
for that one. I remember that.
Then he didn't pick Jamie, so I was upset. So.
Yeah, little disappointed in that one too. But I mean, overall, yeah, CEO 2023 on point. Like I said, plenty of places to eat around. Some places might overcook your burger, but they have great atmosphere. You know, it is what it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But the food trucks were awesome.
A lot of them have asthma, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, there you go. But the food trucks were awesome. The competition was great. The community was great to be around, and it just, yeah, man, it was just a solid major. I can't wait. I definitely want to go and check out CEO Otaku. I know that's going on out. I believe that's out in Orlando. Definitely want to go peep that out. They definitely go with they announced CEO Otaku and like the game lineup, for it. Which is a little confusing because it's kind of bordering now, kind of like main game stuff now, right? Because now we're getting MK1, Street Fighter 6 is in there. I think I'm trying to remember what the other. It's like 1 or 2 other games. It isn't just like fully. I mean, the main game is like Strive. Like, you know, Jabali did state it. I was like, hey, Strive is still like the #1 game there, right? Like, with, you know, so it's like, I think that was like his preliminary. Like, listen, I know you're gonna see some games here that aren't anime, but they might be more like. They're gonna be treated more as like side because they aren't in the spirit of what that event is. But they still want to maybe support the games, which is perfectly fine too. So we got to see that. But overall, like I said, the entire event was awesome. Staff was great. Community was great to be there. Watching players just play Street Fighter 6 for the first time at that level. And seeing, you know, not just Street Fighter 6, just all the games, honestly. Like watching, I was watching Grand Blue as well. That we checked out Strive, obviously top 8. We were there for that. Shout outs to fucking Adventure for that Jacko play. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, that was incredible to see Jacko win the major. We were tweeting that out because we were there ringside just watching all that go live. Shout outs to my biking homies out there with JoJo, and of course shout outs to fucking LK. We caught up with a little bit there, had a couple words, but hey, we representing, you know, we was Jersey was there to support you, homie. You can't say motherfuckers weren't there. I said I was gonna be there. I was right there ringside saying what's up, but you know, you guys did awesome. Like, but everyone else though included like Test Your Luck. Let me see, it was Test Your Luck. Adventure obviously took it. Test Your Luck. We had LK. We had JoJo. Let me see who else are the what are the other results here for CEO?
Oh, not me because I lost at
not you.
place.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Oh, so you're at 49th. Okay, yo, shout out to you though. 49th place.
Yeah.
49th place with
3 DQs. We take those.
With Eno. We'll take that shit. Adventure, MFCR, of course, with the Leo. Marvello, shout out to Marvello, the chancletas, right? Like he was just surfles. Super Noon, Test Your Luck, the JoJo, LK, and Creator with that Giovanna. Awesome top 8. It was great to watch. It was so tight. Dude, I can't say any more about it. It was just a great experience. It was great to see these players play at the levels they did. The energy in the room was amazing. And you know, I can't wait to go back and do it all over again with other events as well. But CEO definitely has left a really good mark for me. A really great, a tall bar for sure has been set for me. And when it comes to these majors, and I mean, there's a reason why it's in the top 3, right? It's like it's Evo, Combo Breaker, and CEO are like top 3 must go tos for a reason, because there's just a level there that you can't really experience anywhere else, and it's definitely still growing. So shout out to Jabali. Awesome to have you on before when, you know, when CEO went on. I know he was going through a lot of it and he had a lot of stuff planned. I think he did an incredible job, man. We're definitely gonna have him sometime in the future for sure, maybe before CEO we talk about that. But you know, kudos of course from myself. I'm sure Static is probably feeling the exact same way.
I mean, not many hiccups. Only for me, it's just I wish we could all watch all the stages at the same time. I kind of I'm mad I missed Tekken. I'm not gonna lie. Tekken on main stage while Marvel's also on main stage is on another stage was kind of rough.
But you work with what you got. I'm sure they looked into it. I'm sure they tried, and it was like the best they can do, which, you know, that's all you can really ask for. If you didn't give a damn, then that's a different case. But I'm sure that wasn't the situation here. But CEO 2023 in the books. was an incredible journey. If you guys were there, if you guys were watching, you could probably also point us out in those top 8 cameras because we were definitely around there. But if you guys were there, we'd love to hear your experiences on it. I'm sure Jabali would also like the experience on it. There is a CEO Discord. Make sure to go join that. There is a feedback form he was working on over the weekend. Go tell him what's up. Go tell him what you liked about the event, what you didn't like about the event, what you liked about certain aspects. Do you want to see this in the future? So all kinds of stuff. Go support. That feedback is just as important as you guys going, like, actually just watching the show or supporting. If you're not buying a ticket, if you're not being a spectator, if you're not a competitor, you're not going, the feedback form is something you could definitely do if you're any of those guys that went out there, and just let them know how the event went, because that is very, very crucial to these TOs. They want to do a good job and they want to improve. So it's a great way for them to help yourself, because it's a win for everybody. All right, you can't make change unless you speak up about it. All right, that's all we'll say there. But I will also say is that what you can't change is this ad break that we're going into. We got a couple things to check out here, because CEO wasn't the only thing that went down this weekend, and I'm pretty disappointed about it. I really want to fucking go check out this other stuff. But we'll talk about this after this break, guys, so don't go anywhere. And we're back. CEO's in the books. Just have to wait for CEO Taku to go back down to Florida. But in the meantime, like I said, Static.
Yes.
CEO's not the only thing that went down over this weekend.
No, there was a beta that I got into, and I left it to my nephew to get into, and he didn't do it.
You didn't use it? Oh,
is that the one you were going to talk about, or no?
Yeah. So the MK1, yeah, of course that's the beta I'm talking about. Well, that's one of the things I'm going to talk about. The MK1 stress test went down over the weekend. It was specifically just for console. I was hoping to kind of get a one up on it and like kind of bring, because I had my Steam Deck with me, and I was like, oh cool, I'll pull up the Steam Deck and I'll just play off of that. Unfortunately, it was just console only, so could not do that at the time. But there was plenty of footage out there. There's awesome voice lines that compilations that are out there between the characters when they're loading into the game. But we're only just going to talk a little bit about it, because we haven't I still have to like catch up on all the tech that is there. But what I'm hearing, obviously, besides, let me just put a disclaimer out there. This is a stress test. This is a beta. Right. Whatever the characters are like in this, it's not the end all be all.
Close.
Don't stop. Please stop asking for goddamn buffs already. Like, listen, it's just a start. It'll change. Just let it rock. It's a stress test for the online itself. That's the point. This could be fucking build number 1 internally that they decide to launch, and they're at build 18 by now. By the time we actually get to an actual retail release. So please just Twitter the guys to chill on the character buffs and ass. Just let it rock. Just let it rock. But from what I'm seeing already, though, the game's got some depth to it. The combo breakers are as they should be, right? They're not MK11 combo breakers where you can kind of also counter the combo breaker, right? Kind of deal. And also still, kind of get punished for still using your defensive meter. If there is no offensive and defensive meter, it's just 1 meter overall that you need to use now. The cameo system is looking incredible. The combo depth is definitely there, because we're seeing 40%, we're seeing 50%, we're seeing kind of TOD unblockables, pseudo unblockables in the game with certain cameos. So assists are definitely going to be, it's not a one-off thing, man. These assists are definitely a big component to how you're going to end up playing. MVC2 style kind of too, right? You can call an assist, and before they actually start their attack, if you get hit, your assist is just like, all right, goodbye. You got hit, I'm out. They don't pose or anything like MVC2, but the spirit is still there. But yeah, we got to see like Kenshi, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Katana. Those were the 4 characters you got to pick. And in terms of cameo, we've got Kano, Classic Jax, Classic Sonya, and I think that's it. Yeah, so those 3. Yeah. Special Forces and Black Dragons is all we got for cameos. So we got a good variety of it. Kenshi was looking kind of dangerous. Like I said, I'm not gonna go into specifics, but man, some of these characters look awesome. Just some of their game plans are also different. Kenshi being one of them, like very, very different from previous iterations. So they're not so much just porting a character over, and it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna, play similarly, like 100%. Like there are still like your go-to buttons, like your kind of spirit, your what is it? Is it Tensu? It's like
I don't know.
I forget what the sword was called. But you're still gonna have some familiar buttons there, but then there's like some extra new things like 50-50 setups, because now he has like a spirit that can do high lows while you do. So you got command normal. It's kind of wild, but the rollback, I think the netcode from general consensus isn't bad. I haven't heard anyone say it was garbage either. But I'm just going hearsay right now, and this is just on console. We haven't seen if the crossplay is going to be affected in any way, kind of like how Guilty got hit with crossplay, and the net play just became kind of atrocious, or rather the lobbies became atrocious for that game. But I just heard great things. I heard it's an experience. It's maybe they wanted a little bit faster, is what I heard. Maybe just a slight bit higher in the speed department. But past that, the game's got depth. It's still MK, right? So I don't know why the colors are like that. It's still
just demonetization on YouTube for blood.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's
wow. That's some tech right there, huh?
Oh, that's just probably Sonic Fox doing.
No, it is. That's interesting.
A lot of people either use Devora for like fatality videos in the old games, or they use like black and white. Maximilian does black and white or zooms in on his own face.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow, the YouTube tech. That's amazing. Yeah, that is true. I forgot MK creators do get slapped up when it comes to there it goes. Yep, do get slapped up when it comes to demonetization due to just the nature of the game. Oh man, that's crazy. But yes, so the game's looking. Oh wow, I never saw that.
I never noticed
that. Was disgusting. That was disgusting. And Liu Kang does the fucking emblem. Oh my god, Fire God Liu Kang.
He is best looking, and possibly the best character of the four that I saw. Now I was watching Maximilian's like review of it, the final breakdown that he had, and he was talking about like the movement of the game. I haven't played it. It looks a lot to me like it plays like MK11. Again, we're not going to go too much into detail because again we didn't play it, but the movement to me in the last game was more of the buttons that you use, and plus we don't even know what assists we're going to be getting. So like to complain about movement, wanting a run button, you're going to have characters that have like some sort of movement. I think we saw Goro as an assist, and he's going to have punch walk. Melina's in the game. She's going to have her rolling. She's going to have teleports. Katana's going to have. She's in this one. But she's gonna have her teleport punch, and I don't think it's supposed to be a movement game. I think they've learned from their mistakes, and they're like, all right, we're not gonna give you the movements. We'll give you the freedom to do all these air combos, make it look nice and flashy. But like we're trying to make this a close quarters game. Something I noticed that Kenshi can be a keep away character, as we can see there, but it looks like he doesn't even play that way, or even meant to play that way. So I don't know. I like the game direction. Again, this is just a stress test. I'm waiting to see where the assists go. That's more of my thing right now. That's the one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, 2 cents on that. But no, we're gonna be talking. We're gonna be talking with shout outs to Darth Armo. We're gonna be talking to him because I know he spent the weekend with like Broken Comb and Goster, and I think Grover might be the other one that was chilling. He was streaming all weekend. They were playing a lot of sets. I would love to get him in and kind of talk shop and get an overall feel for it. They're probably some of the best in the business to actually get some input on this, because these guys they bleed the game, they bleed the series. No pun intended there. So would love to get those guys back on site, or at least Arma getting back on, maybe with some other guests. But yeah, overall, I'm hearing good things. It looks good. It's just a stress test for once we get closer, which it's not even that fucking far away. Remember, we're at the tail end of June. It's September, man. It's like it's just 3 months away. It's a quarter of a year. It's gonna be like that before.
And we haven't even gotten any other announcements for characters or trailers or anything.
Nope.
And they said that they would be doing that periodically, but they're not doing it like KOF was. KOF had a character every week.
Every week, yeah. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if they will kind of hit us with that maybe starting July, or expect Evo, right, to have something crazy go down for sure, and that might be the starting line. While they just wanted to get through the stress test, get through it, and because they want to get as much feedback and get as much data as they can before we actually launch the game. So it's understandable. At the same time, if they're a little quiet, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, come Evo, it's game time and it's just full steam ahead for sure. But the MK1 beta is now done, is behind us as well. Hopefully we'll hear like I said, maybe some announcements before Evo. That would be kind of awesome to kind of enjoy that, to maybe see some characters that could possibly be shown off. But until then, we're just gonna have to make do. So I mean, really, in terms of games, there haven't been any other crazy updates. I mean, excuse me, there's one other game.
Just got it, yeah.
Excuse me, there's two. There's one that's hot off the press, which we'll probably end up looking at. But one thing I do want to put out there is, of course, the Multiversus, right? It's kind of more of a PSA. So, it is currently now the 26th of June. As of the 25th, which was yesterday, 5 p.m. PT, which is about 8 o'clock Eastern time, Multiversus is now offline. You can no longer download this game. If you do have it, you still can rock it on offline mode. It does come unlocked with everything in offline mode, which is awesome. But it won't be available until it returns. Its launch in 2024. Your account inventory will return to how it was prior to June 25th, and they've updated an FAQ there as well. But yeah, man, it's like it's now in hiatus. We'll just have to wait and see. Any potential TOs that could run something. This is like kind of like PT back in the day with fucking PlayStation. Like, oh, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, it is what it is. But this, we're hoping that they're gonna. We might see a resurgence here, man. We might see kind of like a Phoenix Rises kind of deal. Not a Dark Phoenix, but hopefully just a regular Phoenix comes through and brings the vision for the game back, because like I said, I enjoyed the game. I thought Multiversus was hella fun. It just unfortunately it's been plagued with what I think is not bureaucracy, but definitely it seems like influence from outside, that it's just they gotta make money, right? It is a business, and I understand that. It's just the way they've gone about some of the decision making just might not have panned out, and the content and such too, right? Like how they it was kind of stretched thin a little bit there, and also a bit of a rocky start due to just like how they had to quick patch a lot of things. But the support was there, the passion was there, love was there, the community was there. They just gotta it's so much easier to say than do, but you just gotta find that sweet spot where you can kind of retain that player base to kind of continue on. And if it's a games as a service, that's a big deal. That's like fucking priority numero uno. But we'll just have to see what 2024 holds in store for these guys. But in the meantime, if you do have it once again installed, or already on your console or on your Steam or whatever, you are good to go. You're good to lab until the game drops and be just like the best. I don't know, Finn and Jake, Harley, Superman, Batman, whatever character you want to pick can be the best there ever was. No one will call you a beta crack user. You'll be fine. Yeah, it's all legal. It's all legal. All right, so with that, we're gonna move into our randoms of the FTC, guys, to wrap up this show. We do have a couple of just quick things to bring about. So let's just jump into it. I mean, first of all, actually, no, excuse me. Do we do that trailer? I don't think we're gonna have time, because I don't know if we can do a live reaction to that trailer. 40
seconds.
Oh, it's 40 seconds. Okay, you got a link for it?
It was in my timeline of my newsfeed of YouTube, and it was I have a link. I will send it to you very shortly, unless you've already found it, and I'm gonna put it in
got
the...
Got it.
Yes.
All right, so we have breaking news going on right now.
Yeah,
we've got a DNF Duel trailer that just dropped for Spectre main trailer. It's only about 40 seconds long. We actually get another good look at the character. We have seen gameplay already with that really terrible non-comboing trailer that happened before, but now
you got more non-combo.
Oh, we got more bad
just
combos?
Grabs and big moves.
No. What are they doing?
Yeah.
Oh, baby, what are you doing? I mean, she
looks pretty.
She looks so good.
Yeah.
She looks amazing. Oh, we
Thank
actually.
God she doesn't look shitty.
Yeah, if you look bad and your combos are bad. Oh, got the colors. Oh man,
Costumes pretty good. Number 8 looks great.
Number 8, 3, 6. Wait. Oh, wait. No, that's 7. Where's the 8th color?
Comes in 8 colors.
Yeah, what's number 8? That's 7.
GG's.
Yeah, we don't even get the 8th color. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is all we're getting. We're just gonna get a look at this. Okay. Now that. Oh my God. What a way to end the trailer. Now that was boring. Oh my God. Talk about not getting me hype. Like. If I would say the shit that I'm thinking of right now, oh my God, bro, what's the comment section looking at right now? How
DNF, this is the 5th time you've shown off Spectre in class.
Oh no, you know it's bad when I already posted the same comment in the last video. Oh my God, but let's see how we good. Once again, female slaves were part of
this game turns 1 on the 28th, and it's the first DLC character. Has been a YouTube video for 6 months.
Oh, that's bad.
It says July. I'm pretty sure. I hope it doesn't.
No, it says summer.
30th.
Wait, where did it say July?
Of the trailer.
It did.
July. Summer. Here it comes. And July.
Oh my.
So it's gonna be July 30th.
Well, hopefully next week. Hopefully by the time we have to record again next week for our next episode, we'll actually we'll go ahead and get her. But feel like it was announced in 2020.
Wow, that's pretty good.
This is brutal.
Even Grand Blue has a game coming, right? So.
Grand Blue has, which we do have. We do have things to talk about with Grand Blue, of course. We'll cover that in the next episode because I think there was like a new trailer that dropped during CEO when it came to the Cube system and all. But we're not going to talk about that right now. But yeah, so DNF, I guess, hey, we're getting Spectre in July. Yeah, we already. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their marketing or their direction has been in terms of how they want to show this character off. Because like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just confused. Like, I'm really trying to understand. Like, because they do have some good points. Like, this game is gonna become one and. Turn 1. It's our first DLC. We've seen this character in gameplay several times now. We're not actually getting anything new in terms of, besides, getting a July month. Not even a date, just a month. It could still be July 26th is when this chick comes out. Like, we won't know. Right. So it's like kind of purgatory-ish is honestly what I'm feeling.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3 will come out before she ever does.
Yeah, right. But hey, we got a Spectre trailer. It did come out. Kingdom Hearts 4 is what you're talking about.
No, but I meant 3.
So Spectre, cool. Well, hopefully we'll hear something about that in July. We'll see what goes on there. Because DNF is another game. I know we were just talking about Multiversus, but DNF is another game that could be making kind of a Phoenix Rising kind of deal with the big changes they're making to the system and the amount of characters they're trying to put up. Maybe they'll just take a much faster direction in terms of the content, but one can only hope. But we will be here, of course, to cover that as it goes on. So some of the last things we want to do real quick before we end up on this show. So yes, back to the randoms. Evo, nothing too major. We don't have numbers to my knowledge. There hasn't been any publicly placed numbers. It's just been statements. Street Fighter 6 at Evo 2023 has officially broken a franchise and all-time Evo record for competitors, which, if they're talking all-time in Evo, I don't know if it's just for the game, but someone I think stated it has to be, I think it's like 5K plus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Street Fighter 5, when it announced, had 5,00004 entrants. Or
was it Street Fighter? Okay.
Yes, Street Fighter 5 had like 5,006 entrants, so this has got to have.
This is
almost. This
banger.
Gonna be hitting 6,000 soon.
Yeah, if they hit the 6K, that'll be gross. That is fucking insane. So expect. Oh my God. Listen. All I know right now is I feel for my pool runners, my bracket runners out there. It's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a long one. Bring some coffee, some Red Bulls,
You have to be mad competent too.
Possibly meth and crack.
Oh my gosh, no!
We do not condone drug use here on this show. No. But if you got to run a 6,000 fucking competitor pool or game, you might want to take some.
Please, no Florida man drinks.
The Florida man iced teas. Yeah, none of those. We don't want a little bit of that. Just a sprinkling, dog. Just a sprinkling. That's all we need.
But if we can tell our stories from this week.
Maybe. We'll see. If you guys see me, go ask me about the Florida man drink. I'll tell you the story. But yeah, so hey, that's crazy. Street Fighter 6 already breaking incredible records, and we still got plenty of time, right? We still got August, so there's gonna be a lot of last minutes. A lot of people are gonna be joining in well before the event actually happens. So expect that number to go nuts. I just can't wait for these numbers to drop. It's gonna be fucking insane. And it's not just gonna be them, right? Like Tekken 8 eventually when that drops, MK1. When that drops, it's not unfortunately going to be here for Evo, but I'm talking about as it goes on. It's going to be great. I just hope those guilty numbers still stay up, though. Man, love to my guilty gear people, for sure.
I just want Marvel to outwin Dragon Ball so that we can see it on Sunday. Moving on.
All right, so one last tidbit. It's actually kind of floating back to Street Fighter 6. So even though CEO was also just doing incredible numbers, I think by finals it was doing something like 55 to 60K on just the CEO gaming channel alone. Finals, yeah. Just that. The overall channel, or rather the category itself on Twitch, was making closer to over 313,000. That is also because there was another tournament going on. Besides, obviously, a bunch of content creators and players that didn't go are still streaming, and they're restreaming, and they're watching while they're playing. Another event by Team Raccoon over in Tokyo, or excuse me, over in Japan. I don't know if it's necessarily in Tokyo. There was an event that was ran, and it had a bunch of prolific VTubers and other content creators, and that was just doing insane numbers too. Like we're talking, I think it did better not better, but it's like it's more than Evo numbers, like 150s or something like that, like K concurrent. It's incredible amount of people were out there watching and supporting games. So that the fact that Street Fighter 6 was overtaking like Diablo and shit like on those weekends like that is nothing short than incredible. It's just wild. So we just wanted to put a little bit of light on that in case you guys saw that in your top feeds, your top 10s. So be cracking in top 10s on Twitch right now it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You don't want to be hitting with that doom scrolling, because you got to keep going down like, where's my game at? Let me see, where's my game at? So yeah, it's one. So it's a great feeling. It's a great thing to see, and we just got to keep that momentum up. So that just shows how much people are diving in and trying out the games, man. It's no joke, new and old. Which also shout outs to the Ryu. So I met someone at CEO who is an old OG. I want to say he's definitely an OG, man. My man's got the rust, for those that know what that is. And I got to catch up with him actually at your brother's booth, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm here playing Street Fighter 6. I'm like, oh, who you playing? Just making conversation, right? We're all here with some passion for fighting games. Like, oh, I'm a Ryu player. I'm like, oh, that's what's up. That's cool. He's like, yeah, I haven't played a fighting game in like 27 years or some shit like that. I was just like, what? He's like, he hasn't played Street Fighter in that long. Yeah. So we're talking the Street Fighter 2 days and all. But he's always been a Ryu guy. And the fact that Street Fighter 6 was just like prevalent enough for him to kind of de-rust and, get that off and come out and compete. I was like, bro, this is fucking amazing. Like, I was just so taken back when he said that stuff. Like, that is so awesome. Like, I was so happy for him. I was happy for us, for fighting game, the fighting game community. Like, that like I said, Street Fighter 6 has just done so well to just bring the old heads back and bring such a new generation, just have the community grow. It was a great moment. It was an awesome moment. So shout outs to you, homie. I didn't get my man's name. I know he competed and all that. I just didn't get his name. I kind of, it was a long weekend. But if you did give me your name, I'm sorry if I forgot it. But if I see you out there, I'll know. But shout outs to you for sure. It was incredible to see that actually happen. Yeah. But shout outs to Puerto Rican, the Puerto Rico crew. Like, they came out in numbers. They were there. They showed up. I even saw the guy who eliminated me at First Attack in Guilty Gear. We hugged it out. I said, yo, what's going on? How you doing? His homies were in out of pools. I met a guy named Shai Lee, who was a really good Zangief Chun and Jury player.
played a lot of casuals. He taught me a lot of stuff. He said he plays with Mono, who's been on the show. Go check out that episode if you want to know more of what what more of the Rooster Team is doing over in Puerto Rico. So shout outs to them. I had a great time. Had a good weekend. Just went by too fast.
The weekend went by fast, but some of those days were long as shit, though.
We were waiting a long time for Smash to end. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Smash. Yeah, definitely. Smash took his time, but it was, competitive. Last match, last stock, last hit. It'd be like that. So that's what it is. Yeah. Can't hate. But that's gonna be it for us this week, guys. For those that made it out to CEO, let us know. Tell us what your thoughts are on the event, how it went down. How'd you do in pools? Did you make it out? Did you go 0-2? Right, like the Static Gorilla Classic, which it wasn't the case this weekend. No, never. Was not the case this weekend for sure. So can't say nothing about it.
Marvel and almost made it out in Marvel and in Street Fighter, but things happen.
Exactly, things happen. He doesn't. He dash sweep can't. Punishes.
Gonna let it go, Dre.
Nope. I'm not gonna let it go like that 16-year-old kid didn't let go on his match when he lost against Krillin. I just won't.
Krillin, man.
There has been a tweet since then, but that was a whole other case. But once again, guys, shout outs to all of you. Shout outs to CEO. Shout outs to Jabali, Tong, the whole crew. Incredible experience. Street Fighter 6 is here. That event was awesome. The energy was amazing. I can't wait to see more of it, and I'm hoping we do another MK one stress test soon, so I can actually play it this time. But that's gonna be it for this week, guys. We appreciate you guys listening to us for another episode of Double Tap. Make sure to follow us at Double Tap FGC on all social media platforms. Of course, can follow my awesome host Meza at Meza FGC. Even though he's not here, the homie is taking care of business. He'll be in, of course, next week, and we got Static Gorilla at Static Gorilla, whether he's streaming up over on the TNS on Fridays, streaming on a regular basis on Twitch, whatever else he's streaming. I don't know, roller coasters, something like that. He might go to Sweden to do something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Entering Street Fighter tournaments wherever they may be in the area. Got 3 lined up this week, I believe. So
there you go. Yeah. All right, for sure. So go follow him. You can follow me at Crashtag VS, of course. I'm usually more active on Double Tap FGC, but you can, of course, follow me there. Hey, my arcade cap's almost done, so maybe I'll start streaming off of that real soon, but we'll see about that. But in the meantime, once again, also follow Mash Those Buttons at the Mash Network. Check out the other shows we have here on the MTB site, on the NTBD Network. Got a lot of awesome stuff, whether you're into Final Fantasy, Apex, of course, Warcraft, plenty more. Horizon Zero Dawn and all that good stuff. That podcast is kind of wrapping up, so if you want to get into it, now is the time. We got a whole slew of things. Or Resident Evil 4. Maybe you missed out on the Resident Evil 4 experience. We did a podcast on that. Go check that out. Once again, mashthosebuttons.com. In the meantime, guys, we'll be live once again every Monday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, with a new episode every Tuesday on your favorite podcast platform of choice. So go check that out. Once again, go follow. Go check us out also on YouTube. Subscribe to us there on Double Tap FGC there. Pretty easy. Go hit subscribe. We do post up segments from the podcast itself, of course, with visuals, videos, things like that, interviews, all that good stuff goes on there, and original content that is going to be coming out. So if you want to get into that, into fighting games, all that good stuff, stay updated. Once again, that's on YouTube. Double Tap FGC. We'll be live next week. Once again, guys, all love once again to everyone, CEO. All love to everyone that made it out there. All love to the FGC. Stay tuned after the show to hear what's going on here on the MTV Network. But until then, we'll see you guys next time. Later.